Welcome to Sayulita. I've been here for the past couple of days and I've been having a wonderful time. I'm staying at the Hostel, just a short walk out of town, and it has the most amazing view. As far as hostels go, I'm pretty sure this is one of the best I've ever stayed at anywhere in the world. I'm going to take you guys on a quick walk around Sayulita, show you what I've been getting up to, and show you how amazing this beautiful little town is. So Sayulita is quite famous for its excessive partying, and I've definitely found that out firsthand. First 2 nights I went absolutely crazy, meaning that the next 2 nights I've been in bed by 9 o'clock. Feel quite good for it now. I was trying to film some videos earlier in the week and they just weren't going to plan. They were low quality content. I think I was too tired, too hungover to be making good stuff. So just paid my bill for the last 4 days here, and it's like £20 a night to stay here, and then unfortunately they let you add the bar onto your room to pay at the end. So for 4 days I spent 122 quid here, but I have been drinking and eating a lot, so I guess that's okay. Now there's 2 ways you can get into the hostel. One is down the steps that way, but I'm more of a fan of the dirt track route down this incredibly steep hill, which somehow I haven't fallen down yet. But we'll go this way, go into town. I'll show you what Sayulita is about. So Sayulita is famous for 2 things: partying and surfing. It was originally a surfer town, and then after all the surfers were flooding here, it became more popular with backpackers and the like, so it started to become quite wild. I've noticed it to be a really colourful, fun place. There's always something going on, there's always a party going on, there's always someone to go and hang out with. I'd highly recommend it. If you're near PV, it's only a 1-hour bus journey away from PV, and that bus is costing like only 50 pesos, so like £2. It's great. Something I found very funny about Sayulita was that everyone whips around on these little golf carts. On Thursday night I went out with a couple of guys and we were driving one around, and the guy who was driving the thing was just drinking a bottle of rum, and I was like, is that all right? And they're like, yeah, it's not a car, so it's okay, and the police don't mind. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about that, but it certainly made a good night with some interesting thoughts in the morning. Now, I've noticed, compared to PV, which I thought was absolutely beautiful, don't get me wrong, Sayulita takes it up a notch. The colours here, the murals on the walls, the art dotted around the town, makes it a really like cool holiday destination. And I see lots of Mexican people coming here for a holiday, because obviously it's Christmas time, so many people are coming from other areas around the country to go to these beautiful places. But also there's a ton of international tourists here too. There's loads of beautiful boutique shops and selling all sorts of great stuff. If I was a lady, there was a beautiful dress shop that I was tempted to go and buy something for my missus, but I'll wait till she's here. She's coming out in a couple of weeks. But also I picked myself up a couple of these novelty Mexican t-shirts, of course. Be rude not to, wouldn't it? But we're now in the town square, which is where recently I've been watching kids set off fireworks, try and blow each other up. It's been quite an interesting experience just to observe that, sit there with some tacos and a beer. Christmas in Mexico, the novelty has not worn off yet. It really has not. Seeing Christmas trees when it's 30 degrees is very bizarre, especially when they're nestled right next to palm trees. So this street I'm standing on right now is a very famous photo op in Sayulita. The Street of Flags, or Slap Street I think it's colloquially colloquially known as. You're supposed to get down here early so there's not crowds. It looks like I've done just that, but it is so pretty. It gives up that real Mexican party town vibes. Anyway, we'll go down to the beach, which is of course what Sayulita is famous for. Check out the surf. I went surfing here myself a couple of days ago, and I made the arrogant mistake of trying to ask for a shortboard. I'm 6'3", so I should be surfing on a longboard at the best of times, and the waves weren't really big enough, so I had to actually swap my board, which was very embarrassing. But I had a good surf. It was nice to go out with a couple of guys from the hostel and catch some waves. So it's like 9 AM in the morning. It's a Sunday today, and already the beach is absolutely rammed. It's quite overcast today, which means you're not going to get sunburn. Unfortunately, my legs are absolutely looking like lobsters. Not really the one. The waves look quite flat today. Seeming to be a lot flatter than the other day, but we've had a quiet few days, to be honest with you. The weather's been very hot, very still. There's no real wind to speak of. But we'll go and check out some surfers, see if we can watch someone catching a wave there. I'm used to surfing in the UK, right? Freezing cold conditions, wearing a wetsuit. And to be able to surf without a wetsuit on was one of the most freeing things I've ever done in my life. I've never experienced anything like that before. What I did notice whilst I was out there surfing was that there's lots of kids, obviously from Sayulita and neighbouring towns, who are much better than most of the guys out there trying to surf. You'll see some like 8-year-old kid absolutely shredding some big waves, putting everyone else to shame. I think that's sick. Now, something that I didn't quite rate was just how rocky it can be out there. Although it kicks up these nice waves, when you're falling, you do run into the chance of being absolutely slapped up by a sea urchin. And even if you don't hit one of them, the rocks are sharp enough to get you. A friend of mine who was staying at the hostel, he stood in a sea urchin. And trust me, once you've done that, you have a fear for the bottom of the sea for the rest of your life. If you're coming here to surf, renting a board's quite cheap. But I would advise you, if you're here for a while, to actually buy yourself a board and sell it when you leave. So I paid $10 for 2 hours to have a board, but I could have bought one for $500, and presumably I could have sold the thing for $400 a couple of weeks later. There's a lot to do in this town, like a lot to do. Of course there's the things like whale watching and trips to some islands and scuba diving and snorkeling and whatnot, but there's also small towns dotted around the place that are well worth a visit. One of those is San Pancho, which I believe its proper name is San Francisco, but of course the better known San Francisco took all of its glory and now had to change its name to San Pancho. Anyway, I believe my mum and stepdad are staying over there, so I'm kind of tempted to go and visit them. but the walk to get there is 1.5 hours through the jungle, and I'll probably get eaten by a jaguar or something. So something I noticed was there was a little market down the downtown side of the town called the Hippie Market, and it didn't feel too hippie in nature, but I was able to pick up some smoking apparatus, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure what the YouTube guidelines are on things like that, for very cheaply. In fact, I got a whole ounce of said smoking apparatus for just 400 pesos, which is about 15 pounds. Now, I've not been down this street before, so I'm going to go and adventure it right now, but it smells brilliant. Someone's cooking something delicious. Fortunately, I've just had breakfast. Otherwise, I'd be tracking down who was making that lovely smell. But let's go and explore down here. So if I had to guess what this was, I'd say it was a Sunday market, because obviously today is Sunday, and it's selling all sorts of electronics and clothes and food, and it looks like it's mainly aimed towards, I don't know, oh, there's some massive speakers here, which I do need to pick up actually at some point. I don't really have the room for that though, but I'd say it's mainly aimed towards locals, because I can't see any tourists. That's a good thing. So we got bedroom and bathroom supplies here, plant pots if you need one of them, nice cheap pairs of underwear, which I definitely will need by the end of my trip, some clothes for your daughter or your son, I'm not one to judge. Okay, the market was quite nice. I didn't need any underwear or speakers or similar things for the moment. I'm sure I will eventually on my journeys, but today I wasn't really feeling in a purchasing mood. Now I'm going to take a walk up one of the main roads in Sayulita, maybe stop to get a juice or something like that. Before I continue my journey, I've had to pop into the OXXO, which is like a 7-Eleven. I had to buy myself a toothbrush and some toothpaste, because mine mysteriously vanished. I don't know if someone would steal that at the hostel. Bit of a strange thing to steal. Maybe I just lost it, maybe it just vanished. But yeah. So I found my juice shop. It's called Choco Banana, for 60 pesos. I'm having some sort of green, nice health thing with some cactus in it. It's just what I need right now to get me back on the right path. Gracias. Delicious. Now, I've been trying really hard to get into Mexican food and drinks. I'm a big fan of the food, of course, tacos, burritos and all that, quesadillas. However, I thought I liked tequila, I thought I liked mezcal. Turns out, I'm a bit of a pussy. Last night I went to a mezcal bar. Mezcal's like a, let's compare it to a whiskey, a Mexican whiskey, right? It's too strong for me. I've got a thumping headache and I only had a couple, so I hope this cactus juice will cure me. So let's have a quick chat about what I've been up to since I got to Sayulita. First 2 nights, I must say, I was going out and I was going hard. I'd had like a couple of good nights out in Puerto Vallarta, but coming here, that's a different kettle of fish. It's a small town that people come to party. So when I was at the hostel, the first thing that I wanted to do was party, and so was everyone who was staying there. The hostel that I'm staying at is absolutely amazing, by the way. It is a little bit on the pricey side, Viajero Sayulita, but it's a fantastic place, a wonderful view, and unlike pretty much any hostel that I stayed at before. There's a load of great bars out in the town that are great fun to hang out at, get a couple of drinks and make friends at. It's pretty expensive here, to be honest with you. For example, one night I spent $350 I'm not sure how I spent $350, but I won't be doing that again. It's a lesson learned. I've taken note. I'm also planning on going on a whale watching tour from Sayulita, because right now it is whale season. They've all come down from the north in the freezing cold waters to spend the winter months in the nice warm Pacific. So I hope that I'll be able to get a nice whale watching video up for you soon. I've never even seen a whale before in my life, apart from a tiny little mink whale in Thailand once. It'll be really exciting to see some majestic, huge creatures milling around. I would like that a lot. This juice actually went down very nicely. I probably would get it again. I'm feeling very revitalized. Someone said to me that people come to Sayulita for a week and stay for years, and I kind of get that vibe. It's incredibly easy to spend your time here. I've been here for, 4 days. I've extended my stay. It's a lovely, lovely place. It's really easy to hang out in. This would be, I'd say, more my street than Puerto Vallarta was. And Puerto Vallarta, it's a great place, but it's a city. You can't spend all your time when you're traveling in cities. And I guess, this is a very touristy place. It's touristy for a reason though. It's a beautiful, lovely little town. It's so sweet. Also, I must recommend the hostel that I'm staying at, Birchy, Sayulita. It's a really nice place. Almost hotel quality. And I'm spending 20 quid a night on the room, which is great, in a shared dorm. I booked a private room for when my girlfriend's here, and that was costing £70 a night. So quite steep, but still cheaper than a hotel. And that view that you're getting from all the way up there is second to none. Chilling there with the Pacifica in the evening, making new friends. A really special place to be.